We we're going to.
Like to call the December 18th, 2025 Fire Department Regional Fire Authority meeting to order. Please stand. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They are pledging.
That sounds good.
Don't know who that is. It might be, is it an AI?
I don't know about that one.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
We got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see any public here other than our two gentlemen in the back. So I'm going to move them up to the beginning of the agenda, or up to the, beginning of the meeting here. Alan Coburn had emailed me with some updates from Shoreline Auxiliary Communications. And I thought maybe instead of trying to explain everything to you guys, I'd have Alan and Chris come in and explain it really quick. So we'll give them about 10-15 minutes, and Alan, Chris, you're up.
Good.
Better keep on. Let's put these face down until we say the goodbye, till it's time for the test to start. I'm kidding.
All right, you just wasted 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm Alan Colbert. I'm the president of the 501c3 that Shoreline ACS is organized, and we are the stepchild of Chief Cowan. So what we do is I'll get into more of this in detail here as we fly along. So if you have any questions, I'm going to go probably pretty fast since Chief says, yeah, turn on your license siren, go red. So get the first slide up and we'll take off. We have developed a new program and we call it ACEDIT, ACEDIT, which is the Auxiliary Communications Emergency and Disaster Information Team. This is a specialty team inside ACS. And I'll get into what it does and why I think it's important, and hopefully you will think it's important too, and as we grow along. I spent last night working in the King County EOC, so I'm ready. Okay, I said again, and we'll get into that, Auxiliary Communications Emergency Disaster Information Team and our famous comm van. Go ahead. We have a mantra that we want to sell the world, and we want to be relevant. We're working real hard to do that because the fire service and the emergency services are always changing. We want to be ready. And we want to be, keep going, Chris, responsive. We want to be able to give the services that our customers want. And keep going, Chris, please. Be resilient. And most important, we want to be there. And we have been able to do that over our towns who were activated over here fairly recently. Go ahead, Chris. Just so you know a little bit about us from North Shore and maybe some from Shoreline. What we do is we provide FCC licensed, FEMA NIMS certified, vetted volunteer radio operators to service the community. And the big word that some people don't fully understand is interoperable. We can coordinate traffic between fire, police, emergency, as well as the Coast Guard, like life flights, whatever. We can talk to them and listen to them. Like Chris. And what we do is we practice and prepare for this all the time to support our community partners. And most recently, the NEMCO came over here. Go ahead, Chris. We have some organizational goals, and I say this just so you know that we're all not all about it. I was up all night, so that was good. And we want to facilitate and new technology, which we'll get into a lot here. We are Chris is our guy that implements it, makes it happen in the van and wherever we are. And we encourage assist members, just our licensing group. And provide comm support in the community. You'll see us at most of the community events, several over here, for example, too. Go ahead, Chris. And then we do MCOM. Go ahead. There are over 300 licensed, FCC licensed radio operators in Shoreline alone, and we're reaching out to them right now. Go ahead, Chris. To get them more involved in being a community member of Shoreline and being able to get their information into the EOC from the neighborhoods and then also get information to the neighborhoods about the places of pods, points of distribution for shelter, food, water, etc. Keep going, Chris. Thank you. We also purchased a lot of equipment. Almost everything in the comm band is owned by the 501c3 except Chief Collins Peace Radio, which is invaluable. And we, in the NIMS world, I don't, everybody familiar with NIMS, the National Incident Management System? It's a wildfires. I learned last night in spades, it's fire or floods. That's the way the disasters are managed, where we have commanders, and then they have a whole staff of people that support them in terms of making their decisions. Go ahead, Chris, please. Go ahead. You may have to look at the we're a puffer fish in a lot of ways. If you look from left to right, on the left side is we have all the affiliated organizations that we have contact with, try to maintain relationships with. Down the center is our core organization. On the top right is the board. And we have kind of getting much more robust as one of the many previous Shoreline emergency managers wanted us to become. We now have a CTO, Chief Technology Officer, who comes out of the high-tech world, robotics and AI. We have a Chief Financial Officer, a PIO, who comes out of the University of Washington Medical School training docs. And then the bottom right are the proponents for our organizational goals. Go ahead, Chris, please. We're getting down into the MCON organization. So on the left top, you see pink and red. Those are our first shift staff for the EOC. We staff the EOC in an emergency situation. And then the first shift for the comm. The all red letters are the ASTIT teams, and we'll tell you all about ASTIT in a moment. In the green are neighborhood outreach, and in the blue are we have contacts with a number of I call them the citizen or organizational citizens of Shoreline, like this Suzanne at the school district, and people from the FERCREST and people from the lab. And here's the core communication team. It's a long time. John Solinki is our team manager, chief of operations. He's got planning, training, and operations under his belt, under his hat. And then we got the team manager, or the assistant team manager, which is Chris. And then under that, we have the ASTIT and the CommBand and the EOC team leads. I like that transition. Okay, I'm going to tell you about Shoreline ASTIT now that we went through kind of who we are. Same story. Go ahead. So the subtle change here is we have evolved from quote just a communications organization to an organization that can reach out and grab a lot of data very quickly and distribute it. And keep the rhythm there, Chris. You're doing great. And we can deliver it real time in the Zoom environment, which in our minds and has created what amounts to a virtual unified command center. It's been used over here for Justice Sotomayor's visit, for example. But we are standalone. We don't need any grid power. We don't need any grid internet. We don't need cell because we create our own because we're a Starlink family. So it's a very robust and very private, very secure. Here's our key capabilities. We're, like I just said, we're self-contained. We can integrate data from drones, ground teams, and satellite and distribute that in a Zoom environment. I don't know, has everybody been in a Zoom? Okay, they share the screen. That's all it is we can gather all that and pump it all out. Just to stand by a second, I talked with the EOC manager at King County, I was thinking, but there wasn't much to do at 3 o'clock this morning. This is something that is important to them, but they're still into the personal relationship in the command. But if you're on one side of the RFA and there's something's going on the other side of the RFA, we want to see what's going on. This is an option to get that. Well, I just got a time here. This is you have to read it yourself, sorry. But the big thing, go ahead, we have a picture coming up here that will help. When you show up on a site, you check in, you just click your phone on a QR code and you're in. You get your mission. This will work out really well with CERT teams, for example. Here's the instant data integration system. Right now, we can do all three. We're still experimenting with the satellite data, bring it in and bring it out. But we definitely can do the ground crews and the drones and distribute it to the command. We also are experimenting with, I love this, smart glasses. When you're driving around and looking at things and you want to stop and write it down or whatever, with smart glasses, you can literally do a video and look at it and say, oh, you've seen these 5 people here, they're both all beautiful and handsome. Click it, goes on your phone and goes off to the command man, and then to be shared by Zoom. The reason I said again is because this has a little bit of a commonality with radar. If you remember radar, and the goal of radar was to make sure that responders had all the information on arrival, that it was available on arrival at an incident. ASTIC really can't do that because we don't know where or when the incident is going to occur, but we can capture that information very quickly and distribute it. And typically with an ASTIC sort of incident, it's evolving. It's like the floods we've been watching over the past 9 days or so. It's evolving. It helps track it. You go ahead and put all these out right now. There's really some amazing artificial intelligence satellite information. We have in the beginning stages of a relationship with the Allen Institute of Artificial Intelligence. They happen to be just pivoting right now. They've been doing a lot of international work. Now they are pivoting to do local work. I have a good contact there, and so we may become a pilot study for how to integrate, for example, ground movement information. Go ahead, Chris, and we'll get into that a little bit more. It's INSAR. You want to know what it is? It's the ability to track very subtle ground movements, and it's been shown to be able to anticipate landslides with subtle movements or major movements, and that's available right now. They don't use AI as near as we can tell. The Allen Institute uses AI and may do something, but we're really on the forefront of this sort of integration of data for EM. Here's some of the operational advantages. It's been proven. Sotomayor, Chief Harden was really enthused. He became a friend on Facebook even, and the reason he liked it is because he and his team could manage the site by walking around with his phone on our system. And he had the drones, he could call the drones, and the drones can go down and they can talk with you if you're a victim or you're trapped, and they can find you because they use infrared. We'll soon have LiDAR, so you won't be able to hide in the bushes. We can penetrate that. So it's a rapidly emerging, and we think we're on the forefront of being able. I think we're kind of like Amazon. Sorry, Chief, keep me in my line here. We could gather the data, and we can put it together, collate it, package it and ship it and get it there really fast and conveniently. So that's kind of what we're headed for. Here's some of the limits and concerns. People are concerned it requires the internet. Yep. Go ahead and hit the other one, Chris. Thank you. But the workarounds are really quite easy. And it's not using any unusual technology. It's just integrating a lot of available technology and bridging the gaps efficient. And that's what Chris is responsible for. Keep going, Chris. You've seen this all before. And then go ahead one more, please. We want you to remember this. In order to pass the test, you have to know those. The 5 R's. Actually, there's 6. So we kind of went through and we gave ourselves the benefit of the doubt, but we think we're really on track to meet our mantra. Maybe some of those should have been incomplete. But anyway, we think we're really on track and being able to deliver really good information very quickly. We have a new group. Shoreline Communications Advisory Team, SCAT, and we thought that was kind of appropriate, but they have experience in all these settings. Plus, I neglected to get the AI Institute up there, which they're working worldwide. They're actually anticipate taking data that's gathered by the Sentinel, went right out of my mind, collection of stars, constellations, and use that data. They use it to enforce fisheries laws around the world. It gets really real-time information, and they get the information, send it to the enforcement facilities wherever they are in the world. They could do that same sort of thing probably with earthquake rubble. They can, like, detecting distorted building shapes or rubble or expansion joints that it moved. So it's really exciting. Not there yet, but it's really coming fast. Okay, here's my favorite. This is the pitch for being a licensed person. Did I make it? Pretty close.
Information.
Yep, Nico. Yes, sir. I sent you a love note about this before, just so you know. I knew you were really busy.
You have the capability for the land deformation, you have that capability now.
We do not have that capability yet, but we could get it fairly easily.
Okay.
We haven't really reached out. It's kind of new to us, what we're doing.
Yeah, I knew it was kind of coming, I just didn't realize where we were at.
Well, it's there. The technology's there. AI or the Allen Institute had not heard of this particular application. I actually found that, I love ChatGPT. There's so much you can find to look at, but they were investigating it too. But that with LiDAR, but think of the information you'll get from that. It's just absolutely amazing.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Yeah.
Any other questions for Alan?
Okay. Remember, Shoreline, and by the way, don't tell the chief, but wherever he goes, we follow him. So
Somebody should.
what's that?
Somebody should.
Yeah, we don't try to supervise him. We just try to.
You integrate pretty well with the FEMA task force comms folks.
Let me tell you how that integrates. I just came out of that world. That's usually for, in this case, it's the Emergency Operations Center. So can we? Yes. Have we ever had to? Not to my knowledge. But we can. We have all the same radio frequencies. That's our interoperability capabilities are absolutely amazing. We can listen to almost everybody and talk to almost anybody you want to talk to, not all at once. So, and it's really important feature and just really important for you people, I think, is there's not a whole lot of radio capability in this room in this emergency ops center. There's not a whole lot in 61. And the comm van just brings the party. I mean, I sent out a report a year ago. It's a checklist of what's available here, what's available in 61, and what's available in the comm van. The comm van has so much capability. It's just amazing. I mean, and it's compact. It's not one of the big, huge vehicles that you see at a lot of places. So it's just a huge asset. I'm not prejudiced by it. Okay, Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Thank you for taking the time.
Okay, moving on, consideration of the agenda.
I'd like to add one item under new business, org chart discussions. And I got a couple of things that was my activity report, but it'll be under the activity report.
Anybody else? Moving on, we need approval of the past minutes from December 4th with the correction on page 5 that Beatrice made. Under the motions that were made last meeting. Those have been corrected on the meeting minutes that will be signed.
I'll make a motion that we accept the.
Oh, we don't need a motion, just if you don't have anything else to add, let's just move on. All right. Thank you, though. Trying to expedite a little bit. Correspondence. Have a few in our, a lot from EMS, wow.
I think it's the same one.
It shows different names. It's got different insurance. It's different.
Different names.
So Dr. Ray is the medical director for King County EMS. And he reviews all cardiac cases come through and significant trauma, anytime whole blood is used. And frequently sends these letters out in bunches for calls that happen in your jurisdiction. Essentially like, hey, thanks for doing a great job. Here's the outcome.
Yeah, Terry Reed, Scott Johnson, Rob Livingston, Nick Lewis.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, they're all different. Same letterhead, but
No, it's just.
we got a very nice one from the Fishers, not me.
And a donation.
Jim and Patty Fisher, and of our retired firefighters, retired commissioners. It's very nice. Okay, moving on. We've got our standing agenda warrants. Motion to approve.
I'll move to accept disbursements in the amount of $804,820.76.
Motion by Commissioner Heveland. Do we have a second?
Second.
No, seconded by Commissioner Webster. Any corrections or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Commissioner report. Does anybody have anything for commissioner reports? I attended the last Saturday, the YMCA toy part that the Shoreline Fire Department annually takes care of. Special shout outs to Josh. He brought his two girls, they were wonderful, from Josh. Botha and her family came, it was just McKenna Chaplin. Gina and her boyfriend came, it was just Derek Peterson, Caleb Bonner. It was great seeing everybody. And the cadets, a special shout out to those cadets, wow. They were awesome. All right, financial reports.
So, so you have the October report with you. I looked at it week and a half ago. I didn't see anything that it popped out at me. But we're quite a bit under budget, which is good. But this is, I've prefaced this all year that this is not, the most accurate budget because of the changes that had occurred with the RFA and all that. So, but it's good. I mean, it's under budget. So, was there any questions? And you had a couple.
Yeah, we are at zero with legal services.
Yeah. Not surprising.
No,
Some of the
we've had
legal
a
activity
little
of
bit.
y'all.
dispatch, we're down to 1%.
That's right, but that we're done for the year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at
We
it,
pay.
it said October finances, and I thought, oh.
Yeah, we're quarterly on that.
Let's see, what else can I pick on here?
I had a question, please. What about vouchers, the engine change order for the new ladder truck? You have the line item of 594. Rest of it, but on the budget position, line items only go to 591.
That's coming out of the capital, 594 is capital.
Moving on to anything new for strategic activity report, chief? New.
No, nothing new.
Okay.
I think Matt will probably brief you on, we had some good candidates and good progress on facilities manager, so he'll probably brief on that.
Let's move on to RFA activity report. Chief Callens.
I have a couple things to add, but first off, was there any questions about what I reported out? Okay, so one of the things that has happened this week is we had Michelle go up and she got, I haven't seen her, but she came back today. She went up to Skagit Valley to do PIO work. It was a call out for all of the available PIOs. I also sent Erin from Bothell. She went up a day or two later, and they're both demoted and coming back today. Worked hard, did a lot of great work, and learned a lot of opportunity for some professional growth there, and working under a joint information center. So that was really good. One of the things that we have encountered with the three different meetings, the two district meetings and the RFA meetings, some inconsistency with how we manage the meetings. Actually, in the example today was, our oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. Disregard. My bad. I forgot that we had an agenda item on disregard. Okay, I still have one more though. So one of the things that came up today, as I've shared with you all, we're having an executive leadership team joint meeting every 2 weeks, around first and third Thursdays of each month. And one of the things that came up today was, well, we've actually talked about in the last couple of meetings, is a discussion about schedules. And one of the things that is a concern of mine at my level is that I work Monday through Thursday and I'm home on Fridays or whenever. And but Matt Hochstein is working Tuesday through Friday. And that's to have, potentially an executive team presence on Fridays, just in case. It doesn't happen very often where there needs to be somebody there, but it also has a presence, for the rest of staff and all that. The problem with it is that it also introduces a whole lot of work for him on Tuesday to catch up from stuff that's going on Monday. And it's also a little bit challenging because we're starting to, on Mondays, we're having meetings, we're having discussions, we're starting to do things. And I'll send him emails or, or whatever. And so now his Mondays, he's now I'm gonna throw him under the bus because he's not here right now, but he's engaged. He's looking at his emails and he's looking at, he's getting phone calls and text messages and so forth on his day off. And that kind of bugs me, from a work-life balance, standpoint. And he's behind when he comes in on Tuesdays. So then he's struggling to catch up when we're, already rolling for the week. So this kind of prompted some discussion at the ELT. That's what we're calling it, by the way, executive leadership team meeting. To talk about, is there a way to do this better? And so one of the things that has come up is whether or not we would, or whether the board and the organization would be good with not, having people on Fridays and closing Fridays or being remote work on Fridays. And try and focus everybody on 410s. The people that want to do 410s can do 410s. If you want to still be on 8s or 9s, you could do remote work on Fridays or half days on Fridays or what's called a 980 schedule or on some Fridays and so forth. We're exploring all this, and I'm not asking for a decision right now. Right now, I'm just sharing with you some of the discussion that's going on. And I may be coming back with some more thoughts on this. We haven't fleshed this out entirely or anything like that, but I was wondering if there's any support for doing something like that. Because if you guys are all saying absolutely not, because if we are doing something like this, it's potentially closing our office on Fridays. And so if there's, some support for that, then we can continue to work through this. If not, then we can try and figure out how to do a better job of work-life balance and not setting up some of our staff. It's not just Matt. I mean, there's other people who are doing, and some people will need to be here on Fridays. So training division will need to be here on Fridays. Our support, our fleet people will need to be here on Fridays as well. So it's not like everything's closing, but we would allow people to either do remote work or not work on Fridays, depending on what their schedule looked like. So I wanted to just open it up and see if there's any support for that. And
I would I'd throw my support in for that. I think it's important not to start off behind. And I think, people adjust where they need to. So I don't see a problem with doing that.
One thing I forgot to mention too is we are exploring the idea of a remote day anyway, as part of some of what we've worked on over the last few years with the admin staff. So this is something that might dovetail in with that, too. So thanks.
Maybe some of the stores.
Well, yeah, and we need to be careful because we want to make sure that we're thinking about everybody, not just the executive team, not just the leadership team, not just admin staff. Ops are ops. They're going to be here 24/7. But trying to figure out a plan that is recognizing and respecting everybody. And so if it sounds like I've got some support at least to continue asking questions. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed at this time. Thanks.
Yep. Let's move on to Chief Bookstein report. Any questions for Chief Bookstein?
Rejected. Thanks.
Nothing. Okay, Matt, you're off the hook.
Hi there.
Hey, Matt, do you want to give him a quick on 57 and facilities manager?
Yeah, you bet. Station 57 capital projects are, especially the HVAC project, is moving along well. The last few weeks, we were able to, the crews, the contractor that was there was very efficient in their work in the bedrooms that they were putting the new units in. That efficiency prevented us from having to move the medic unit to station 63 for 4 nights this week, and kept our medic unit at its home station at station 57 for its entire shift. So that was great, and the work there continues. The crews have been fantastic, very flexible and professional, interacting with the contractor. We've been communicating updates nearly every day to the crews just to keep them up to speed on the schedule that kind of keeps changing as the contractor's working faster than we originally had planned. So that's a good issue. So yeah, work will continue there, I think tomorrow, and then off. I think they're taking a break Christmas week. Anybody coming into station 57 will see ceiling tiles removed during that time. We're leaving those off. But the crew will be living in the house normally during that time. A little bit of work between Christmas and New Year's, and then in January, jumping back on a number of things. So we're still holding true to February 4th final date for the HVAC work, and then after that, some training for our facility staff on use of and the crews in that quarter on proper maintenance and use of that new system. Generator project is no change since I last spoke with you. I believe I'm looking at the schedule. We are expecting the new generator and the crane that is setting it on the pad on Monday, December 29th. And then starting that first full week of January after the holidays, the generator crews will be in there working on all the work consistently from there forward. Both contractors are working around each other's schedules and aware of each other's schedules, and that's going well also. So shout out to Patty and Anders for checking in daily on site, and we have been doing a weekly meeting with the HVAC contractor as well on Zoom. So things are moving, things are going well, knock on wood. Yesterday I spent the day, long 11-hour day, I think, doing in-person interviews. The week before we did phone screen interviews for the facilities manager and the facilities technician positions. We narrowed down the list after the phone screens, and we brought some people in for each position yesterday. It went well. I'm optimistic we have selected a candidate for each position and extended a conditional offer for both of those positions, and those just went out. The conditional I spoke with the technician candidate. He's reviewing it tonight with his wife and will let me know tomorrow. Left a message and got a text back from the manager candidate who's too busy, is at a birthday party for his girlfriend tonight, unable to talk on the phone. But the conditional offers went out from Liliana on email tonight to both of them, and hoping to hear back from them tomorrow that they accept the conditional offer, and excited for both of these candidates. I think they will fit in well with the team and support services in the department, and look forward to after all the background checks and we have an unconditional offer, I look forward to introducing him to you.
Thanks, Matt. So it was a really good day to have, because we were a little concerned about the facilities manager position and not, as you remember, we went through the first one and couldn't find somebody. So it was exciting to have two good candidates and two good alternates too, in case for some reason they turn us down. So that was good. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Chief, does the hiring of that facilities manager impact the contract with project manager?
No, and there will be some transition that'll occur from some of the stuff that Matt is working on to the facilities manager, and then and there might even be stuff that is shared between those two positions. But the Anders, his contract is for part-time anyway, and we'll go through our plan is to run through the end of next year or whenever there's a full transition to potentially a logistics manager position or something along those lines. So there's actually probably more work than just the facilities manager. And so we're taking some incremental steps on this, and and the pledge that I've made to the union is that by the end of next year, we'll have a more permanent plan for a logistics manager to do some of the work that Anders is planning on doing in 2026. Good question though, because there is some similarities, in that workload.
Yeah, well, and also in your background description, it says that a new facilities manager would be taking over, but just
Some of that, yes, yeah. So, but there's still plenty of work that we need Anders to work on.
okay. It doesn't look like there's any old business, so we'll move on to new business. Review of meeting management.
So I started to talk about this, and so thank you for, making sure that I forgot that we had an agenda item on. Again, so the point here is to make sure that we're being professional and we're being as efficient as possible, because I think we all want to be efficient and making life a little bit easier for Beatrice and or anybody else that's, helping out, manage the meeting and all that. And we have 3 different sets of meetings, and at times we have 3 different ways of doing business. So I'd like to summarize whatever I believe we are working now and make sure that we're all on the same page and if there's any questions. Okay, so first of all, with like roll call, we don't necessarily, and some of this we have vetted out with legals, so it's not like, the old way of doing, well, you have to do roll call, you have to do all these things. That's not the case anymore. So roll call should only be implemented when there are alternates here that don't know who might be. It's like if Gina is here and she's still trying to figure out who's here. Otherwise, Beatrice or whoever's doing it can just look and say, yeah, you're here, you're here, you're here. The question would be if there's somebody absent, to go to the chair and say, is this an excused absence, or has somebody else had any conversation with them? Okay. On consideration of agenda, this would be a kind of an affirmation by acclamation of, is there any consideration agenda? No? Okay, we're good. Move on. Same with the approval of the minutes. And with what we did earlier of like, is there any further edits to the minutes? You look around. No? Okay, move on. So again, little things like this can be, make it more efficient. Resolutions and contracts. This came up like the approval of a CBA, and I'll just pick on David. David's not here. I wasn't gonna pick on Rick because he beat me up, but no, okay, so David's not here. And we approve the CBA. Should he have a signature on the CBA? And the answer is yes. No, well, this is up for debate, how we want to, how our best practice is. The board has approved the contract. I'll do another step.
I understand.
You said no.
You
Let's
approved
say
it, so but the majority's approved it, so I would sign it.
even if you voted no, you would still sign it.
Right.
Because the minutes will record that you voted no, but as a board, we've approved it. Does that make sense? Are we all on board? Pun intended with that? Okay, this is for like same with resolutions and so forth as well.
That's right.
So, and
Only those in attendance should sign.
not everybody on the board can, should sign it.
Did you run that by Brian?
Yeah. So, it's just, again, we can change, we don't have to do it this way. This is best practices. This is what people do in the industry. And I'll give you an example of like, let's say, 6 people are in attendance, for an approval of a CBA. And maybe it's even worse of like, there's 5 yays and 1 no. And so are we gonna have 6 people sign it or 5 people sign it? And that's gonna look, and it's weird that we don't have everybody signing it. And it brings up the question of like, what happened with the, did this get approved? Did it not? If only the people that were there, signed it, you might not have. You'd still have to have a quorum. But another example.
You can't make decisions without a quorum.
Correct.
If there isn't a quorum that signed it, then it's not good. If there is a quorum. that
Yes.
signed it, then-
So if there's 6 people in attendance, I'll tell you, 6 people in attendance and 4 people say yes, and there's 2 abstentions or even 2 no's. And now the only people that sign it are the 4 people. That would look really weird because now you're like, well, that's not even a quorum. That's not even a majority, even if all 10 were there. It just brings in questions about what that looks like. And I think that's why, and Beatrice, spoke, was the one that reached out to legal. So if there's anything I'm missing or screwing up here, please.
Both.
Or both, I can say both of them. So, and again, this is up to the board. I'm throwing this out, and you tell us how you want to do it. But I'm sharing with you what has kind of come back from, I guess, both. I thought it was Beatrice, but on the legal side of it. So
Well, it was the same with the approval of past minutes. If you were not here, then in the past, you don't sign the minutes. Well, that's not right. Beatrice looked into it for me. Everybody signs the minutes because we're assuming that you read the minutes, past minutes. Even though you weren't there, you still should be reading them.
And it's still recorded in the minutes that you weren't there, or voted no, or abstained, or voted yes, or whatever. And minutes aren't as big of a deal as some of the public facing, documents like CBAs, like resolutions, things of that nature. Again, this is, you tell us, what we're asking for is that we're being consistent between the two district meetings and the RFA meeting. And then, so we are getting backup for, the recording secretary to the board. And we've shared this in the past that we've struggled that, if Beatrice wins the lotto and says, see you later, and I use that example for everybody's role, that we shouldn't ever have single point failure, and we struggle when Beatrice isn't here. We are working on backup, and this is really apropos because over the next 3 or 4 weeks we'll struggle a little bit because Beatrice will be out, and then and so we'll have some backup. So have some patience with us. We are building a better backup system in all this, and some of the things won't be posted to like the website, or it may not look the same way that it looks now, because she does great work on this and delivering this. And so we're, as we train some of the other people up to be better backups, I just have a little bit of patience with somebody. There you go. So is there any questions or concerns about this? This is how we believe that for the most part that we're doing it, but this also helps when somebody else is stepping into either being the chair for the night, or we've got new officers coming in to help try and make sure that we're being consistent. Is all.
All seems logical.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Just kind of getting to the habits.
Oh. Now, if they want to speak up, they'll speak up.
Oh, no, they're not. We admit that.
Oh,
That's.
yeah, you can admit it.
And I know that's what I was, they're not doing.
We don't know who, what.
I just don't know if it's important.
The Zoom meeting. That's weird.
Right.
Okay,
Ask them. Just say.
Zoom user, we're sorry we didn't admit you earlier. We didn't realize that this was a real person. Are you a real person?
Yeah, it's Jared. I'm sorry, I didn't change my name, I guess. So
Hey Jared, sorry.
yeah, I apologize.
No, we actually thought you were like an AI bot or something. Sorry.
No, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So there you go. Okay. That was it. Thanks for getting some clarity on meetings.
Moving on to Ander Hansen's contract for 2026.
Thank you. We were thinking that we were optimistic, earlier this year that we may or may not need him for 2026. We need him for 2026. But we will be done with him. It's like that sounds for bad. We'll be moving on to a more permanent solution, sometime or before the end, or by the end of 2026. And that was something that the union and I had discussed, and so and that's our commitment to them. And I want to thank the union for extending them in 2026, because originally we weren't thinking that we were. But part of the reason for this too is not only the work, but we delayed with our facilities manager work. So Matt, Chief Hochstein, is already doing a bunch of work already, and he's spread very thin. So we'd like a little bit more time to develop, a more permanent solution. So, which is why the contract's back with you tonight.
Do we have a motion?
Sure, I'll make the motion that we proceed with the contract.
I'll second.
The motion by Commissioner Webster and seconded by Commissioner Harris. There are questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
I forgot to read into the minutes that Commissioner Eric Admin has an excused absence tonight.
You mentioned it, right, and Beatrice and I,
Okay,
we got it.
got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the org chart, Chief.
So yesterday I sent you a new organizational chart. I don't need a motion or anything like this, but mostly this is more for informational purposes to make sure that I'm fair with you. And being better, because what has been posted, the last one that we really kind of posted too is old, and so we've gone through different iterations, and in fact, I changed it even a little bit today. Just to bring your attention to the fire marshal position was I changed it to division chief of fire marshal, because we are, as you may recall, we are promoting him to this a recognized rank of division chief at the end of the year. So I just wanted to share this with you, and if there's any questions or anything like that, just to make sure that I'm being transparent with you about how we're managing the department and so forth. Okay, thank you.
Okay. It's quick and easy. Okay. Moving on to projected agendas.
Do have one thing on those.
Okay,
So, yes, under projected agenda, well, first of all, for me, I've shared with you guys, I'm gonna be gone from Christmas on to New Year's. I should be available by phone theoretically, just on that same vein, Beatrice will be out, Bofa will be out, Andres will be out as well, so you're stuck with me, you're stuck with me in that. Matt will be taking a couple days off too at the very end of the year, but we will have somebody here to be, either the fire chief or acting fire chief. However, one of the things that we're encountering too is next Friday, the day after Christmas. We only have one person that hasn't taken the day off and would like to take the day off. And so I would like permission to close the front office on December 26th and allow that person to have the day off. Because the only reason why she can't have the day off is because we're gonna keep the office open, and I'd like permission to close it.
I'm good with that, Chief.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And she thanks you as well.
February 19th, Beatrice, I will be gone. I will try to zoom in, but I don't think 18th or 19th, February 19th.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the last one, but I think I would
About the evening.
19th, okay.
February 19th.
And as a reminder too, you guys are.
Okay, anybody else?
Rocks.
Oh, if you will see.
Let me think.
We're playing. Down by 6.
Now 13-7.
14. We're in top 13.
6:23.
We're about
Adjourn.
again, so.
We're really good at it. Want to see the field goals.